What's up, everybody? I'm Mrjeffsmith, and this channel is all about the struggle that parents have of trying to keep their kids outdoors and active. And to that end, this is my new weekly show called Fun-Sized Advice, where each week I'll take a question that you send in and try to answer it to the best of my ability. And while I am no expert, I have had experience being a kid, and I've had experience being a dad, and sometimes you just need a different point of view. Alright, so this week's question. Dear Jeff, my kids just want to play on their tablets all day. It's so hard to get them to play outside. When I was their age, I would stay outside all day if my parents let me. How can I get them to put down the tablet and get some fresh air and exercise? Alright, so this is a common struggle that parents have, and it's really nothing new. Even when I was a kid, we didn't have tablets yet, but we had Game Boys, we had Sega Genesis, we had all kinds of different video games and screens that were distracting, and I was definitely one of those kids that would like to just stay indoors and play video games sometimes. But my advice to you would be to just look for what it is about the game that they like and try to recreate that in the real world. Because most of what kids really enjoy, at least I know from my own experience about video games, is just that open-ended ability to do something that you wouldn't normally be able to do. So just try to sit down, see what your kids are playing on the video games, and try to identify what it is that they enjoy doing in the video game, and then try to recreate that in real life. Whether they're playing like an adventure game, you can try going on like a hike, and maybe even like trying to work it into like a treasure hunt where you have to look for certain things. That would be one idea. Or maybe if it's another sort of game where maybe you need to build things in the game, maybe it's time to head outside and try to build a tree fort with them. Just take that interest they have in the game and translate it into the real world and spark their imagination. And one other little piece of advice I have, especially when it comes to the tablet, is, and I know I'm guilty of this myself, is to just look at yourself and say, how much of the time am I spending looking at my screen? Because they're gonna try to replicate what you're doing. So maybe take a minute, step back, evaluate how much time you're giving your devices in your life, and then try to lead by example. Alright everybody, hopefully that answered the question, and hopefully that will be a help to you in your struggle to get your kids outdoors and active. And I have a confession to make. Somebody didn't really send in that question. I made it up. But I made it up based on research of common questions that parents have about this topic. So it's a real question, but I made up the person. Don't make me make up more people. Leave me comments of any questions that you might have when it comes to the struggle to get your kids outdoors and active, and I will try to answer them in a future episode of Fun-Sized Advice. Be sure to tune in also to our Wednesday show, Fun-Sized Adventures, where we try to put these tips into practice and go outside as a family and go on adventures. Until next time, see you then.